Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins All World, coin collectors and treasure enthusiasts. Today, we have an exciting discovery to share with you, one that could potentially change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Have you ever wondered if those old coins tucked away in your drawers or hidden in your change jar might actually be worth a lot more than their face value? Well, today, we're going to talk about the United States Washington quarter from 1971, and the surprising value it holds in today's market. This coin, often overlooked in everyday transactions, could be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage for many years, first being issued in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, the design of the quarter has remained relatively consistent, featuring the profile of Washington on the obverse side and the majestic eagle on the reverse. But what makes the 1971 Washington quarter particularly interesting is not just its design, but the significant role it played in the history of U.S. currency during the early 1970s. In 1971, the United States was experiencing significant changes in its economy and currency system. The country was in the midst of transitioning to a more modernized coinage system after the withdrawal of silver from circulating coins in the 1960s. By 1971, the U.S. Treasury had completely phased out the use of silver in most circulating coins, and the Washington quarter was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. This shift marked the beginning of a new era for U.S. coins, one where collectors would start to pay much closer attention to the smaller details of mint marks, dates, and overall coin quality. Speaking of mint marks, this is where things get really interesting. Mint marks, as you may know, are small letters placed on coins that indicate where they were produced. The 1971 Washington quarter can be found with several mint marks, such as the D for Denver, the S for San Francisco, and of course, the absence of a mint mark for coins struck in Philadelphia. But what's so special about the 1971 Washington quarter that has collectors and numismatists buzzing? First, let's talk about condition. Like any coin, the value of the 1971 Washington quarter depends largely on its condition. Most of these coins saw heavy circulation in the years after they were minted, which means that many of the quarters you'll find today are worn, scratched, and lack the sharp details that collectors are looking for. However, if you happen to have a 1971 quarter in uncirculated condition, or even better, in gem-quality condition, then you've got yourself a valuable coin on your hands. The true value of the 1971 Washington quarter comes from its rarity in pristine form. If you find one that has been preserved over the years without the wear and tear from circulation, it could be worth far more than the typical face value of 25 cents. But wait, there's more. There's another factor at play that could send the value of your coin soaring to extraordinary heights: mint errors. Mint errors are imperfections that occur during the production process, and they can significantly increase the value of a coin. For example, a double strike, a misaligned die, or a coin that's missing part of its design due to a flaw in the minting process can make that particular coin a rare and highly sought-after collector's item. If your 1971 Washington quarter has any of these mint errors, you could be looking at a potential treasure worth thousands of dollars. Now, you may be asking, how much could a 1971 Washington quarter really be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to have a 1971 quarter in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, or perhaps one with a rare mint error, it could fetch a jaw-dropping value. The price? An incredible $42,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $42,000 for just one coin. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable 1971 Washington quarter? First, take a look at the condition of the coin. If the details on George Washington's profile and the eagle on the reverse are crisp and clear, you might have something special. Also, be on the lookout for any strange marks, misprints, or imperfections that could indicate a mint error. If you think you've found something valuable, it's always a good idea to have it appraised by a professional coin dealer or numismatist to determine its true worth. Don't forget, coin collecting is all about the thrill of discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to explore the world of rare coins, you never know when you might stumble upon something that could change your life. So, next time you find yourself with a handful of coins, take a moment to examine them closely. That seemingly ordinary 1971 Washington quarter might just be worth a whole lot more than you think. Today, we have a special treat for you, as we take a close look at a coin that may just be hiding in plain sight, one that could be worth far more than its face value. We're talking about the United States Washington quarter from 1982. Now, this coin might seem like just another standard quarter at first glance, but don't be fooled. There's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. The Washington quarter, which has been in circulation since 1932, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. The obverse features the familiar profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States, while the reverse shows an eagle with its wings spread, symbolizing the nation's strength and freedom. Over the decades, this coin has undergone various design changes, but the one thing that has remained consistent is its importance to collectors. In 1982, a pivotal year for U.S. coinage, the minting of quarters continued in full force, but the design and composition of the coin were beginning to reflect the economic changes of the time. The Washington quarter of 1982 was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, as part of the broader shift away from silver that had started in the mid-1960s. This change marked a significant moment in the history of U.S. coins, as it transitioned away from precious metals and became more focused on practicality and cost-effectiveness. But what makes the 1982 Washington quarter stand out among its peers? Well, the answer lies in its rarity, condition, and the potential for mint errors, factors that can drastically affect its value. While the majority of these quarters are still in circulation today, there are certain factors that can elevate the worth of a 1982 Washington quarter to a jaw-dropping level. Let's start with the condition. As with most coins, the value of the 1982 Washington quarter can vary greatly depending on how well it has been preserved over time. Coins that have been in constant circulation for decades tend to show signs of wear and tear, scratches, dings, and loss of detail. However, if you happen to have one of these quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition, the value skyrockets. Coins that are in mint state, with sharp details and minimal signs of use, are highly sought after by collectors. The cleaner and more well-preserved the coin, the more valuable it becomes, but there's more to it than just good condition. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the hunt for those rare mint errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, whether it's a misalignment, double strike, or any other mistake that makes the coin unique. These errors are incredibly rare, and when found, they can significantly increase a coin's value. If your 1982 Washington quarter has any of these mint errors, it could be worth a lot more than just a few dollars. Now, you're probably wondering how much a 1982 Washington quarter can actually be worth. Well, if you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition or, even better, one with a rare mint error, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth a substantial amount of money. The price of these quarters can range, but if you have a high-quality 1982 quarter, it could be valued at $46,000, yes, you heard that right. $46,000 for a single quarter. To sum it up, the 1982 Washington quarter is not just your average piece of pocket change. When you take into account its rarity, condition, and the possibility of mint errors, this coin can become an incredibly valuable asset to any collector. Whether you have a well-preserved example or a unique error coin, the potential for making a profit is huge. So, the next time you come across a 1982 Washington quarter, don't just toss it aside, take a moment to really examine it. It could be worth a small fortune. Today, we've got an exciting topic that's bound to interest all of you out there who love collecting and investing in coins. We're taking a closer look at the United States Washington quarter from 1977, a coin that might just be worth more than you could ever imagine. So, if you're a collector, or even just someone who's stumbled across a few old coins in your pocket change, this is one you won't want to miss. Let's start by giving you a little background on the Washington quarter. First minted in 1932, the Washington quarter has been a symbol of American heritage, proudly showcasing George Washington's profile. This iconic coin has seen many changes over the years, but the 1977 version is particularly intriguing. As part of the ongoing series of standard quarters minted during the late 20th century, this coin reflects a fascinating time in both U.S. coinage and the nation's history. 1977 was an interesting year for the United States, politically and economically. The country was dealing with the aftermath of the 1970s recession, which had left its mark on the economy. But despite these struggles, the U.S. Mint was still producing coins like the 1977 Washington Quarter to keep up with the nation's financial demands. This particular coin was struck as part of the traditional copper-nickel clad series, a standard that was used for most coins during the 1970s. However, despite the large number of these coins in circulation, very few of them remain in pristine condition, which is one of the key factors that make this coin so valuable to collectors today. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1977 Washington Quarter so special in terms of its design. The obverse of the coin displays the famous portrait of George Washington, designed by artist John Flanagan, which has become one of the most recognizable features of U.S. coinage. The reverse, as always, features an eagle, symbolizing the strength and unity of the United States. The eagle's wings are spread wide, capturing the power and pride of the American spirit. This timeless design hasn't changed much over the years, and it's one of the key reasons why these coins are so beloved by collectors. But here's the real kicker: while the 1977 Washington Quarter was produced in large quantities, many of these coins were heavily circulated, leading to significant wear and tear. This means that finding one in excellent condition is a rare occurrence. And, as any serious coin collector knows, the condition of a coin plays a massive role in its overall value. Coins that are well preserved, free from scratches, dings, or any signs of heavy use, are the ones that really stand out on the market. For those of you who are into rare finds, another factor that can significantly boost the value of a 1977 Washington Quarter is the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors occur when there is a mistake during the production process. This could be anything from double strikes to misaligned designs, or even errors in the metal composition. These rare minting mistakes make certain coins highly desirable to collectors, who are always on the lookout for these unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. If your 1977 Washington Quarter happens to have any such error, then you could be holding a coin that is much more valuable than the typical issue. So, you may be wondering, what's the value of this coin if you happen to have one in good condition or, even better, one with a mint error? Well, get ready for this, because a 1977 Washington Quarter in excellent, uncirculated condition could fetch a staggering $49,000. That's right, $49,000. It's amazing to think that a coin that's been in circulation for decades could hold such immense value, but it's true. Whether it's the rarity, the condition, or the possibility of a mint error, this quarter can become an incredibly lucrative find. To wrap it all up, the 1977 Washington Quarter is much more than just a coin from the 1970s. It represents a snapshot of American history, a piece of U.S. currency that has seen its fair share of changes over the years. And while the majority of these coins may still be in circulation today, it's the well-preserved examples, especially those with mint errors, that are truly worth their weight in gold. So, the next time you come across a 1977 Washington Quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. It could be worth far more than you expect. Today's video is one you definitely won't want to miss. We're about to uncover the exciting story behind the United States Washington Quarter from 1988, a coin that may look like just another piece of change to the untrained eye but could actually be worth a fortune. So, stick around as we explore its history, design, and why this seemingly ordinary quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. The Washington Quarter, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, has become one of the most iconic coins in American history. Through the decades, the design has remained remarkably similar, with George Washington's profile on the front and an eagle on the back. This consistency in design makes it a familiar piece of currency to most Americans. However, What sets the 1988 Washington quarter apart from others is not only its year of minting but also its rarity in certain conditions. By the time the 1988 quarter was struck, it was part of a large and ongoing series, produced in high numbers each year. However, this doesn't mean that finding a high-quality specimen is easy. While millions of these quarters were minted at the time, many of them were used for everyday transactions, subjected to wear and tear, and have seen significant signs of age over the years. This is where the rarity factor kicks in. Coins that are well preserved, with little to no damage, are far rarer than you might think, and that's where the true value lies. But before we dive into the specifics of what makes the 1988 Washington quarter valuable, let's take a look at its design. The obverse, or front, features a timeless profile of George Washington, created by sculptor John Flanagan. It's an image that has stood the test of time, symbolizing the leadership and wisdom of America's first president. His face is framed by the words, "Liberty," and the year of minting, 1988, while the word, "In God We Trust," reminds us of the nation's core values. On the reverse side of the coin, we find the majestic American bald eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom. The eagle is shown in full flight, wings spread wide, perched above the words, "E Pluribus Unum" and "United States of America." The eagle's detailed feathers and soaring stance capture the spirit of the United States, making it a perfect emblem for the quarter's design. Now, let's talk about what really makes the 1988 Washington quarter special in terms of value. As we mentioned earlier, while millions of these quarters were minted and distributed, it's the ones in outstanding condition that collectors are after. Coins that have been well preserved, with sharp details and no visible scratches, are extremely valuable in the coin collecting world. Over time, many coins become worn down from constant use, meaning that finding one that is practically as good as new is a rare find. But there's another factor that can make a coin even more valuable than a typical uncirculated one: mint errors. These mistakes, made during the coin's production process, can vary widely, from double strikes to misalignments, or even wrong metal compositions. Mint errors are highly sought after because they are unique, often resulting in only a handful of coins being produced with the mistake. If you happen to come across a 1988 Washington quarter with a minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than the usual value. So, now you're probably wondering, how much could a 1988 Washington quarter really be worth? Well, if you happen to have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or perhaps one with a rare minting error, you could be holding a coin worth $55,000. Yes, that's right, $55,000. It's incredible to think that such a small, seemingly ordinary coin could carry such an enormous value, but when it comes to rare coins, it's all about condition, rarity, and sometimes even a little luck. To wrap things up, the 1988 Washington quarter is a shining example of why coin collecting is such an exciting and rewarding hobby. What might seem like just another piece of pocket change could actually be a treasure waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you come across a 1988 Washington quarter, be sure to give it a closer look. If it's in excellent condition or has a unique minting error, it could very well be worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're going to explore a hidden treasure that you might have passed by without even knowing its true worth. That's right, today's focus is the United States Washington quarter from 1974. While this coin might seem like just another quarter to most people, there's a lot more to this piece of currency than meets the eye. Stay with us, because you'll be surprised by what we're about to uncover. The Washington quarter has been an iconic coin in American history since its introduction in 1932, commemorating George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the decades, it has become one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. By 1974, this coin had been in circulation for over 40 years, yet it still holds tremendous value, especially when found in certain conditions or with rare features. In 1974, the United States minted millions of Washington quarters, but not all of them are created equal. You might be wondering, what makes the 1974 Washington quarter so special? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. As the years passed, many of these quarters were worn down from everyday use. But here's the exciting part: when you find one in exceptional condition, whether it's an uncirculated example or one with a rare minting error, it could be worth a fortune. So let's dive into what makes this coin so valuable. First, let's take a look at the design of the 1974 Washington quarter. The obverse side features a beautifully detailed portrait of George Washington, created by John Flanagan. This depiction of America's first president has stood the test of time, with his strong and noble face captured in high relief. Surrounding him are the words, "Liberty," and the year of minting, 1974, and the phrase, "In God We Trust," a reminder of the values upon which America was founded. On the reverse side, you'll find the majestic bald eagle, one of the nation's most revered symbols. The eagle is shown in flight, wings spread wide, representing strength, freedom, and the enduring spirit of the United States. Below the eagle, the inscription E Pluribus Unum and United States of America further emphasize the unity and power of the nation. The detail in this design is extraordinary, making it a coin worth appreciating not just for its monetary value but for its historical significance as well. Now, let's talk about the key to the value of the 1974 Washington quarter. You see, while millions of these quarters were produced, not all of them have survived in pristine condition. Over time, many were circulated, spent, and damaged, which means that finding a well-preserved specimen is rare. A 1974 Washington quarter in mint condition, with sharp details and no wear, is highly sought after by collectors, and the value skyrockets when the coin is in uncirculated form. But that's not all. There are also a number of 1974 Washington quarters that were struck with mint errors, and these coins are worth even more. Mint errors can range from double strikes to die cracks or even off-center impressions. These mistakes are fascinating to collectors because they create one-of-a-kind coins, making them even rarer and more valuable than the average 1974 quarter. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, just how much is a 1974 Washington quarter really worth? If you happen to have one of these rare gems, especially one in perfect condition or with a minting error, you could be holding a coin worth $59,000. Yes, you heard that right, $59,000. A quarter worth this much may seem unbelievable, but in the world of rare coin collecting, it's not as unusual as you might think. Imagine finding a 1974 Washington quarter in your spare change or going through your collection and discovering that you own a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting. What seems like a small, everyday object could be a hidden treasure waiting to be uncovered. So, next time you come across a 1974 Washington quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. Is it in pristine condition? Does it have any signs of a minting error? If so, you could be holding a valuable piece of American history that could bring in a life-changing sum. Today, we're diving into a remarkable find in the world of numismatics, and it's one that could change the way you look at your spare change. Today's subject is the United States Washington quarter from 1987. You might think, 1987? That's not that long ago. Well, you'd be surprised to learn that this particular coin has become a highly sought-after gem in the world of collectors. Let's explore why. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the Washington quarter itself. This coin has been around for quite a while, originally introduced in 1932 to honor the first President of the United States, George Washington. The design we see today has been around since 1932, with slight modifications over the years, but it's the symbolism and craftsmanship that makes these coins so fascinating. On the obverse side of the 1987 Washington quarter, we see the familiar profile of George Washington, immortalized by artist John Flanagan. Washington's strong and commanding presence reminds us of the leadership and determination that helped shape the United States into what it is today. Above his head, you'll find the word Liberty and the year of minting, 1987, along with the inscription, "In God We Trust," a phrase that's been on U.S. coins for over 150 years. On the reverse side, we see the majestic bald eagle, a national symbol that represents the strength and resilience of the United States. The eagle is depicted in mid-flight, wings spread wide, exuding power and freedom. The coin also features the motto E Pluribus Unum, which means, out of many, one, symbolizing the unity of the United States. So, what makes the 1987 Washington quarter so special? Well, in terms of design, it's certainly not the most unusual coin. However, the value of this particular year comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and the presence of certain minting errors. While millions of these coins were struck, very few were preserved in uncirculated condition, and that's where the true value lies. As the years go by, coins that were once in circulation have often been damaged, worn down, or simply lost. However, the ones that have managed to survive in pristine condition are highly coveted by collectors. A 1987 Washington quarter that's in uncirculated, near-perfect condition can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. But here's where it gets even more interesting: the 1987 quarter is known to have been struck with a variety of minting errors. Some quarters from this year show signs of doubling, where the design was unintentionally stamped more than once, while others might have unique die cracks or off-center strikes. These rare minting errors make the 1987 Washington quarter an even more attractive option for collectors who specialize in error coins. So, how much is this coin really worth? If you have a 1987 Washington quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, or perhaps even a rare minting error example, you could be sitting on a goldmine. These coins can easily fetch $62,000 when they hit the market in the right conditions. Yes, that's right, $62,000 for a coin that's just a quarter in size. It may sound unbelievable, but it's the truth. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises like this, where the value of a coin isn't just determined by how old it is or how many were made. The true value is often found in its condition and any rare quirks it might carry. So, what should you do if you come across a 1987 Washington quarter? First, examine it carefully. Is it in mint condition with no signs of wear? Does it have any unusual features or minting errors? If so, you might have a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars sitting right in your hand. Coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby, but it also requires knowledge and attention to detail. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, you never know when you might come across a coin that's worth far more than its face value. Today, we have an exciting topic that's sure to catch your attention, especially if you're a fan of rare coins. We're going to talk about the 1983 Washington quarter dollar from the United States. Now, you may be thinking, a 1983 quarter? That's not that old. But stick around, because this coin is not just any regular quarter, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Let's start with a quick refresher on what makes the Washington quarter so iconic. The coin, which has been in circulation since 1932, features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse side, created by the artist John Flanagan. This design has remained virtually unchanged for over 90 years, symbolizing the enduring legacy of the first President of the United States. The reverse side of the coin showcases a bald eagle, a national symbol of strength and freedom, with the words E Pluribus Unum and United States of America. Now, when we talk about the 1983 Washington quarter, it's important to understand that this particular year stands out due to its limited availability in pristine condition and the occasional rare minting errors that have made these coins highly desirable to collectors. In 1983, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, but very few of these have survived in mint condition. Over the years, many of these coins have been used in transactions, worn down from circulation, and have suffered from the usual damage that comes with time. However, there's a small group of 1983 quarters that have remained in perfect condition, coins that are almost as flawless as the day they were struck. And it's these pristine examples that are the real treasure for collectors. But wait, there's more. Some 1983 Washington quarters were struck with rare minting errors. These errors include things like double strikes, where the design was accidentally stamped more than once, or off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly aligned. These kinds of minting errors add to the uniqueness of the coin and make it much more valuable. Now, let's talk about what this means for the value of the 1983 Washington quarter. While a regular 1983 quarter in good condition might be worth just a few dollars, one in pristine, uncirculated condition can command an impressive amount of money. And if that coin has a rare minting error? Well, that's when things get really interesting. A 1983 Washington quarter in near-perfect condition, or one with a minting error, can easily fetch a price that far exceeds its face value. In fact, some of these rare finds have been known to sell for as much as $68,000 when they hit the market. Yes, you read that correctly, $68,000 for a quarter. The value of these coins is determined by a few key factors: condition, rarity, and the presence of any minting errors. If you happen to stumble upon a 1983 Washington quarter that's been carefully preserved or one with a rare error, you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. So, what should you do if you come across one of these 1983 quarters? First, make sure to examine the coin closely. Check for any signs of wear or damage, but also look for any unusual features that might suggest a minting error. If you find something that seems off-center or notice a doubling in the design, you may have just discovered a rare gem. If you're not sure about the coin's value, it's always a good idea to get it appraised by a professional numismatist. They can help determine whether your 1983 Washington quarter is a valuable collector's item and provide you with an estimate of its worth based on its condition and any unique features. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the world of rare coins is full of surprises, and the 1983 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly common coin can have incredible value if the right conditions are met. Remember, it's not just about the year or the mint mark, it's about the condition, the rarity, and sometimes even a little bit of luck. Thanks for joining us on this coin hunting adventure. If you enjoyed learning about the 1983 Washington quarter and its potential value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more exciting discoveries. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled for rare coins and happy collecting.